One of the key players at this year's IRMSA Conference is professional services firm Marsh. And I'm joined now by the head of Marsh Specialty for Africa, Shivan Hutton, who will keynote on day 2. The topic is an important and critical risk issue: energy, transition, climate, and sustainability. Shivan, a very warm welcome. As I say, a key speaker at the IRMSA Conference. Let me just remind our viewers, the 29th and the 30th of September. Let's start with this if we can. Give me a quick insight into the topic that you're going to be discussing.
Hi, Jeremy. So I'll be speaking to the topic of sustainability and how innovation within the risk management and insurance industry can promote sustainability within an organization. There's a number of factors that come into this discussion. Climate change is an important factor as it remains a global and an urgent issue. The other part of it is in and around ESG reporting for businesses.
Talk to me a little bit about ESG. It's a real buzzword in the investment in the company space right now. How do you envisage then the development of ESG in the insurance industry, particularly as you move in different directions, as you move into maturity?
Yeah, so having an ESG lens on risk management can deliver a competitive edge and a commercial advantage to any business. It supports financial stability and a smooth transition, and it helps create a world that's regenerative, fair, and inclusive. Globally, different regions, different countries, and different businesses contained therein are in different phases of that journey. And we want to drive that ESG discussion forward within the insurance industry, create insurability to enable clients to promote that sustainability, and also differentiate those clients that have a mature ESG practice, and to enable them to benefit within the insurance market.
Shivan Hutton, you use the words competitive edge. Would it be your contention then that it's being taken, the concept of ESG is being taken more seriously now at boardroom level? It's not a nice to have anymore. It's a must have. Otherwise, you're behind the curve.
Yeah, absolutely. I think ESG is heavily discussed from at a board level. Sustainability and climate and sustainability impacts every aspect of our community at large, and as such impacts kind of every business and every sector. And ESG is a reporting tool, if you like, for corporate sustainability, and it has to be at the forefront of clients' discussions. Or businesses' discussions, and for us as an insurance industry, we need to be leading the way in terms of enabling that discussion and promoting that discussion to benefit from the marketplace as well.
What industries do you see ESG being applied to specifically, or is it universal? Is it across the board?
Yeah, I think ESG being kind of underpinning sustainability overall. As I say, it kind of impacts every aspect of our community at large, and as such, it impacts every business in every sector. From a climate standpoint, the impact is wide-ranging. For example, the agriculture industry facing the impact of climate change from a loss of crops and yield. The automotive and transport sectors impacted by having to reduce emissions at an accelerated pace. And then supporting transitioning energy infrastructure to renewable sources. So ESG, being the governance around corporate sustainability, impacts every business, every sector.
I accept that, but I'm also wondering whether ESG and the principles thereof have been relegated to an extent to the back burner given the crisis of the COVID pandemic.
COVID pandemic has obviously had a significant impact on business at large, but I would say it's almost had a gathering of momentum over the course of the last 18 months in and around sustainability. The change in people's attitudes over the course of the last 18 months, 24 months has been very apparent, and the pandemic has probably brought more attention to the need for people and the communities to look after each other and the environment at large, and that's accelerated the discussion in and around ESG. And from our standpoint,
I was going to say that's very good news. This whole hyper awareness that you're referring to. Let me let you finish that thought, and then we can move on to climate change.
Yeah, I was just going to continue saying that around that awareness has translated into corporations. It's translated into insurance industries, and from our standpoint, we're looking to innovate and lead the industry at large to enable clients to promote that sustainability.
Shivan, I want to talk about climate change now. You raised this at the beginning of our conversation. What role can insurance play then in protecting companies from the impacts of climate change? I don't need to point out to our viewers about the floods in the eastern part of the United States and the southern parts of the United States, and the dreadful fires, for instance, in California. There is no doubt that the problem is accelerating and has been exacerbated.
Yeah, Jeremy, that's right. I think there's a huge amount of research underway to help us navigate this challenge. Insurers have to be poised to manage the growing threat of exposure to the elements. We play a key role here too, and can enable our clients to become more resilient by monitoring and measuring and managing risk. And the impact of climate change can be wide-ranging. It brings challenges around many risks. We're seeing, as you say, increased exposure to flood, hail, and just general natural catastrophe events. And the industry needs to provide new solutions to protect clients. Just as an example, we have solutions around parametric products, which provides kind of aggregated coverage for assets that would traditionally have been reserved for reinsurers, so reinsurers to enable their risk transfer. But we're now starting to provide those solutions in a distributed manner directly to businesses. So a client that could face large-scale property damage or lack of yield can protect themselves through these parametric products.
Just a final question then. You're keynoting on day 2 of the IRMSA conference. Again, a reminder, the 29th and the 30th of September, so just around the corner. Your topic, energy, transition, climate, and sustainability. It's an important issue, as we've already discussed. What do you want delegates to walk away with?
So I think the key message here is, many businesses have committed to net zero targets, and this requires a complete transition from today's operations, which in turn gives rise to many possibilities. And this has to be driven by innovative solutions. And from a Marsh standpoint, we're leading the industry with innovative solutions, whether that's changing existing products and existing capital, or creating new products within existing capital, or indeed driving the creation of entirely new capital, all of which is ultimately there to promote sustainability within corporations. As Marsh, we're really proud to be the main sponsor of the IRMSA conference, and together we aim to be at the forefront of promoting sustainability through innovation.
It's such an important topic, isn't it? And I am really looking forward to hearing you flesh out some of those arguments. So just a reminder again, the IRMSA conference 29 and 30 September. And Shivan Hutton, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Jeremy.